Movie and Music Network, offering underground, pop, and esoteric cinema. Discover more at movieandmusicnetwork.com.
Hi, I'm Zorianna, and today I'm here with Gugu Mbatha-Raw, actress of two wonderful films out this year, Belle, which came out earlier, and the upcoming Beyond the Lights. What an amazing year you've had.
Yeah, it's been really fantastic, especially to have both of these films, you know, Belle being my first lead in a movie, and then, you know, closely followed by Beyond the Lights. And,
which just earned you a Gotham Award for Best Actress, a nomination.
Yes, it was a wonderful surprise. I'm very excited about that.
Now, these two movies couldn't be more different. One is a period piece, the other one is very contemporary, but I did find a lot of similarities between the two. First of all, the costumes. We have to start talking. I mean, corsets in one and practically nothing in the other. So let's talk about costumes in both of these.
Yeah, I know it has been a year for costumes, I have to say. You know, in Belle, obviously, set in the 1780s, where we were in corsets pretty much every day of the 7-week shoot. And the corsets, you know, very, very challenging and uncomfortable, but nothing compared with some of the costumes in Beyond the Lights, which were even more uncomfortable, I have to say.
All right, let's lose the jacket. Can we lose the jacket?
That's right. Yeah.
Both are about young girls who are coming into themselves, both who are trying to find their voice, and both are forced to stay within the confines of society's norms.
You know, when I finished Belle and approached Beyond the Lights, I thought, oh, this is so contrasting. And, you know, the world of the piece is very edgy and modern. But as you say, the themes of identity, you know, the themes of a woman sort of struggling with who she is and then finally accepting herself and becoming her true self and sort of going on that trajectory from girl to woman is common in both. And I didn't see it at first, and now I appreciate it much more.
Now, Belle is inspired by a true story. How do you approach a character like that so little is known about, but you know that she did play a part in history? You
know, her uncle that brought her up, Lord Mansfield, who is played magnificently by Tom Wilkinson in the film, he really was instrumental in, you know, some of the legislation that led towards the abolition of the slave trade in England. It was really a case of sort of gleaning information and the little snippets that there were about Dido, you know, in some historical texts. And then the painting, you know, it is inspired by a real painting of Dido and Elizabeth, her cousin, played by Sarah Gadon. And for me, just on an actor sort of character level, there was so much information in that painting about their sisterly relationship, and Dido had such a sort of...
This grin, this
mischievous and bright-eyed, and I just thought it was just so refreshing to see a woman of colour in a period drama who wasn't a slave, who wasn't a maid, who wasn't in a subservient role, but had sort of a dignified position in society, albeit ambiguous.
Do you feel as an actor that you need to make that connection to a character that you're going to play?
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, the script was beautiful, and Amara Sante, such a wonderful director, really brought out a lot of the contemporary resonances. And really, we talked a lot about the universal themes in the film of just, you know, finding your voice and going from girl to woman in a society which maybe doesn't know what to do with you or accept you.
What was the biggest challenge for you as an actor in playing Belle?
We had quite a tight schedule. It was 7 weeks, sort of 35-day shoot. It was kind of a lot, wearing the corsets all day and, you know, being in every scene. That was just a stamina challenge. Also, I think the responsibility of playing someone that really existed, to me, that was a challenge I imposed upon myself, just because I really wanted to do Dido justice. So I felt an element of responsibility to make Dido, you know, as genuinely multifaceted as possible.
Beyond the Lights is your second lead, so do you feel a little more comfortable carrying a film?
For me, I suppose, you know, I learned so much from working with Tom Hanks, who first directed me in America, you know, as a leading actor.
That was in Larry Crown, right?
Yeah, and I always try and retain the spirit that he brought to the set with that movie, you know, which is that you're not just a leading actress, but you are sort of leading a company of people, and you're leading a crew, and I think, you know, just to kind of feel like the tone that you set, you know, I mean, it's not always possible, but just to try and not be so self-absorbed in the role that people sort of worry about you, and, you know, you sort of have a group mentality. But Beyond the Lights was so different.
It's a very LA movie. I mean, there's just so many LA landmarks, and LA is very much a part of that.
Absolutely.
Movie.
And in many ways, I sort of feel like I've been researching for this movie just in the last few years that I've been spending here and working here, just the experiences that I've had and just absorbing the industry here. Also,
it's so celebrity driven, and your film is also very celebrity driven. There's a lot of paparazzi, there's fans, autograph signings, and it's the outer performance of what you're supposed to put out there.
Absolutely. And that was really what drew me to the role, the idea of persona. You know, the idea that, more so I think for music artists than actors, thankfully, but, you know, that you have, or my character Noni has this very sexualized identity that has been crafted for her by her record label and her momager, manager, played by Minnie Driver.
Excellent performance.
She's so great,
so
isn't she?
Yeah.
But, you know, that idea of the persona and being on all the time, and what that can actually do to you psychologically if you're never allowed to switch off, and especially in the case of Noni, if the persona out there about you is nothing like who you really are inside, and you haven't been given the time to develop any sense of self-esteem. So, you know, countless representations in the media that I could draw on from that. But I thought it was a worthy subject. You know, talking about both films in retrospect and sort of uniting them. You know, it's a little busier now, and I'm just about to do another project. So there's a lot of sort of balls in the air, but it's fun.
Thank you so much for coming on the show and talking to us, giving us insight into these two wonderful films, Belle and Beyond the Lights.
Thank you.
Cheers to your
I
career.
know that to you. Thank you.